Hi, everyone. I'm Akash Agrawal, looking after Middle East and Africa business for Informatica Integration Solutions. But today I'm here to talk about the overall platform and how we are making the difference when you are doing your journey to cloud, right? My request is if there is any question, please, you can interrupt me right away. I like to keep sessions interactive as much as possible. So if there are questions, I would love to take it during the presentation itself as well. All right, so here we are, right? And as we started this session, TechCentric talked about them being a data-only company. This is exactly what Informatica is as well. It's a complete data management platform for all your data management need across the board. And I'll touch upon majority of those subjects as we move forward. The challenge when we talk about is all these key components. Where does your data resides? Who have access to it? Is it a trusted data? One very, very interesting aspect we discussed earlier when Dr. Choki was talking about is data quality. So is your data with the level of quality or having that level of quality that it can deliver your AI, ML use cases, and some of the other use cases? And this is where we are trying to become that one platform which can help you in analyzing that where your data resides, who has access to that data, how that data is moving from your on-prem to cloud, from cloud to cloud, is it having the right quality, mastering that data, so master data management. I guess most of you are familiar with the subject, but this is going now beyond just mastering the data. It is about having the 360 view of your customers, your assets, your information. Like for universities, we are able to tell the students' profile, that what they are doing, what areas they're touching upon, schools, facilities, medicals, assets in oil and gas industry, that which asset is used where, are there duplicate name for same assets, and how you can bring down the cost of inventory and so on. So mastering that data, and while all that is happening, it is completely governed, and in the end, you can use the marketplace to monetize that data, right? This is one thing which is very much needed by most of the organization today. Whatever data they have internally, can they monetize it? Can they provide access to other departments to actually use that data in a meaningful way? And that's where the last point of data marketplace comes in the picture, right? So Informatica is your single data management platform for not just the integration part, but to start with cataloging the data. You might have various databases, on cloud, on-prem, SaaS solutions. Do you know where all your customer data are? Is it in CRM? Is it in core banking system? Is it in marketing tools? Probably all of the places. So knowing that where all your data resides, how you can move that data for the business purpose. The quality of data, and I'm emphasizing this point again because it is one of the very big missing piece today in monetizing the data and successfully using the data. So able to identify the data quality and correct it is one of the key things we focus on. While all that is happening, the whole data is governed, and ability to provide a marketplace for your organization and probably outside of your organization to know that what data is available, they can use it, consume it, and so on. And this is how the tool will help you at the great single integrated data architecture across the board, right? For moving the data from all your on-prem SaaS to your maybe Google Lakehouse, to a database on cloud, no matter what integration pattern you're using, right? Whether it is application integration, whether it is data integration, you're using event streaming. No matter what the pattern is, able to capture it and send it to the destination with the right quality. Now, One of the very interesting things we have moved to is improving the data quality in the data pipeline itself. Very interesting. Most of the data quality solutions today are talking about analyze this database and figure out what the quality levels are, right? Why not improve some of the quality aspects during the data pipeline or during the ingestion stage itself? And this makes a huge difference. You are reducing your time to have the quality data almost to the real time, which means that as data moves, it is of much better quality than it is right now. One of the biggest investments we are doing is making sure that we have today a list of connectors which is ready to plug in and start. You can start working on it immediately. So 50,000 plus metadata-aware connectors which can discover data from any SaaS solution, any on-prem solution. So our 25 years of experience of using most of the, 25 years of experience of doing this discovery right from the mainframe days till today's most modern data lakehouse like Google BigQuery, you mean you will never fall short of any connectors to fetch the data. What does this whole architecture help you from the business point of view? Now, one very interesting thing or you all must be observing. Previously, we used to have nearly 3 or 4 tools for 3 or 4 different data application and API integration patterns. So we used to have middleware or a SOA layer for application integration. We used to have ETL tools like of Informatica, which was doing pure data integration only, right? And then API management became popular around 8-10 years ago. Lastly, event streaming, Kafka, right? One of the very popular tool in event streaming. So there are 4 different tools for doing different jobs. When the applications were in-house, you can connect to a database, fetch the data, put it in a warehouse, and okay, it is very easy. How about that same CRM which was on-prem and you used to have the database access is now hosted on cloud? There's no more database access. It only talks API. But you still have data warehouse where you have to ingest via ETL pattern. So as the application landscapes are moving, the Salesforce, the SaaS solutions which you're using across the board are only talking APIs, whereas your modern data warehouse or lakehouse, like BigQuery, needs an ingestion using a ETL standard. This multi-pattern integration is what we are working on in iPaaS solution, right? So the Informatica iPaaS solution allows you to move data using multi-pattern integration and makes your life easy as you go towards the cloud. So my presentation today is about how you deal with integration when you move towards cloud, right? And this is one of the big challenges that going forward, will you have a separate data ETL tool? Will you have another application integration tool? Will you have a streaming tool and manage connectors for all of them? Not the best way, right? And this is where Informatica for last 7 years have been working on multi-pattern integrations to take care of any integration pattern you will need in your modern application landscape. So as I was talking about, the first 4 blocks is what traditionally used to be separate solutions in past. It doesn't have to be that way. It can be a single solution to integrate all your applications and data warehouses. While that is happening, having data quality being part of it, right? Push-down optimization being part of it. Your mass ingestion for the IoT data, real-time streaming, real-time transformation of the streaming data getting ingested, much better AI results. One of the very interesting thing we are about to announce, it's just a precursor, is the operationalizing of AI models. So once the AI models are built, how to operationalize it, there'll be a dedicated tool to take care of it. So the complete data movement, the complete integration can happen in a single platform. And this is where, if you look at leading analysts today, they believe that iPaaS will be the biggest or the most important piece of integration going forward. People will not use the separate different tools for application, for data, and for other integration patterns. Informatica, today, we are very proud of being the #1 player in this space, and this is not just #1 in 2021. This is for 7 years in a row, and this is where we are very proud of. 7 years in a row, we are holding that #1 position in iPaaS platform. Right. While we are with Google today, I want to definitely emphasize one very important point is Google and Informatica had a very deep relationship from the executive level. So we heard about Thomas Kurian and our CEO, Amit Walia. They have jointly announced, beginning of this year, a lot of joint partnerships together. Some of that is the Google Data Loader. Informatica is part of the data loader here, where you get a lot of out-of-the-box connection and a lot of out-of-the-box data movement connectors to start your data warehouse project quickly, right? Operationalize it. And one of the key reasons is Informatica is very successfully moving the data from the legacy infrastructure or any other cloud infrastructure to Google BigQuery, yeah? The other key thing is Informatica has invested a lot of time and effort in building the native connectors to most of the components on Google Cloud Platform. So together, there are many success stories. I will take one at the end of this presentation, but we have 300 plus very successful joint architecture stories, which which proves that these connectors work excellent together. Just an architecture slide for your reference. I would skip some technical discussions for now. Another very interesting part is Apigee. Apigee customers who are using Apigee API Gateway to do the backend business process and the orchestration of API calls. We are one of the leading tools, and we have 300 plus, as I mentioned, customers who are using this as a joint architecture, where the API calls, once it is received in Apigee, how it is then orchestrated and added into the BPM process, business process, later on. I think that's where I end the architecture discussion. Yeah. Any question before I go to a case study? No? Okay, let me continue. So Equinox. I think most of us know Equinox. They are one of the largest data center providers globally. I mean, by far their scale is so high, and the amount of data as part of their journey is been growing tremendously. How Informatica and Google together help them in simplifying the data architecture and successfully helping them in transitioning to the modern data architecture is very, very interesting. It's a very long case study. I think Equinox presented earlier this year to the World Forum, but I will take some glimpses of it. So this was a journey they were following. They were initially having Oracle and Informatica, then they were growing the big data platform and so on. So by 2018, the architecture was looking very, very complex. There were a lot of components, and in order to keep it simple and monetize the data, they had to go to a modern architecture. They've taken this journey. This was the architecture. I mean, many, many moving parts, components, and of course, as the business was growing, they had to take care of it. But to simplify the architecture, Google, along with Informatica, we have worked a lot together to come up with this very simple architecture, which allows them to actually have the entire data landscape within the Google platform. And we were one of the key data integration partners to bring data from various sources. So I've discussed about the amount of sources they have in some of the previous slides. And it is really interesting to see that complex architecture getting so simplified and all consolidated into one single platform, which is Google Big Data Platform. So that's it from my side. I think if there is any question, I would like to address it. I have my colleagues with me who can help me.
Thank you, Akash. So any questions?
No. I think we have a lot of deployment base in large organizations here, in Qatar as well. I think one of the large oil company is using the platform for their innovation and next data generation, next data platform, data governance being very popular. So if there's anything, we can discuss after this session as well.